Life is already hard enough as it is. Still, some people are working around with extra weight on the shoulders, both mentally and physically, and making life harder than it needs to be. But the good news is there's a lot of things you can do. Basically, life is a game. So think of those things as side quests that you can do right now in order to make the main story a lot easier. Of course, some of those quests are going to require time, some are going to be harder than others, but doing them is probably the best thing you can do for your future self. First, and probably the most obvious one, get in shape. Whether you like it or not, people are going to judge you. And you can be the most kind person in the world. When you see someone, within 3 seconds, there's going to be a judgment. Stopping at that judgment or not is another subject, but this is how our brain works. So why not make things easier and get the first impression right? And before you say anything, you don't need to look like a bodybuilder, you don't need to be a pro athlete to do that. You just need to look healthy and like you take care of yourself. A lean physique with a little bit of muscle is more than enough. It's going to make a huge difference of how people perceive you, especially in the first seconds. And then having a better physique is going to give you more presence, and it might also boost your confidence. So it is a win-win. If you don't know how to start, here's to get in shape. First, train at least 3 times a week. You can choose whatever split you want, push-pull legs, upper lower, full body, and make sure to focus on compound movement. Choose the main lift to be the focus on each session. For example, day 1 you can focus on squat on the first exercise. Second session you're going to focus on bench, so more pushing movement, and the third day you can do pull-ups to focus on the back, and then you have the whole body. For most exercises you're going to do 2 to 3 sets with high intensity, between 8 to 10 reps. The goal is to reach muscle failure, and for that you need to pick a weight that makes it challenging for the last few reps. But the most important thing is to stay consistent. You're going to skip session, you're going to do bad session, you're going to do good session, but if you keep doing it, you're going to improve. That's how it works. If you want more in-depth videos about training, make sure to subscribe, because I got one coming soon. Next is going to be the posture, how you present yourself to others, and your body language. You can have the most beautiful physique in the world. If you have poor posture and you don't know how to present yourself, all your efforts are going to be ruined. So getting in shape and have good posture work hand in hand. If you have a poor posture, working out is going to help you. And the other way around, if you're not in shape and you have a good posture and you have excellent body language, is gonna make up for it. It is almost more important than the first one. But if you have both, your life is really gonna turn on easy mode. The basics for having good posture is, of course, stand tall, keep your chest out, keep your shoulders back, but there's a lot more subtle things that comes into place. Because depending on the situation, the best posture is maybe not stand tall, but a little bit on the side, more relaxed. So it all comes down to figuring out the situation, reading the room, and knowing what to do in those cases. But for that, you need to practice. Having the ability to switch from one posture to another is a real good skill to have. Again, it is a really broad topic, so if you want more in-depth videos, subscribe to the channel, there's one coming also. Third thing you can do to get your life on easy mode is optimizing your lifestyle. It's going to be hard to realize, but a lot of people are unknowingly sabotaging themselves. Your lifestyle, your habits are going to define of how much capacity you have to go through your day. And unfortunately, some of you are only working with 60% of what they're capable of. So here's what you can do to bump up your percentage closer to 100%. The most important one is going to be sleep. I don't know how people do that for years and at least 5 times a week. They're going to work around with 4 hours of sleep. Of course, we all have bad nights of sleep, and it doesn't mean that you have to cancel all your things the next day to make up for it. But if it happens multiple times a week and multiple weeks a month and multiple months a year, you get what I'm saying, at some point you're gonna pay for it. So the sooner you can, make sure to work on your sleep. Aim for around 8 hours. For most people is gonna be fine. What is gonna help you also is to go to bed before midnight, so sleep is going to be way better. Of course, there's something you already know. Try to avoid screen time at least 1 hour before going to sleep. And of course, if we get back to the get in shape topic, having a good night of sleep is going to help you recover and build muscle faster and better. Again, and lastly, with a good night of sleep, you're obviously gonna think better, make better decisions, and get a better life overall. Next is gonna be nutrition. It is also linked to the getting in shape. You need to fuel your body with the right things. Of course, it's not a fast food once in a while that is gonna make you fat. It's all gonna be about proportion. If more than 50% of your diet is composed of processed food, not even fast food, processed food, there's a problem. And I know it's hard to lose weight and all that, but I would guarantee you it is almost impossible to eat too much when you eat only non-processed food. Eating more protein is gonna help you a lot, because even if you don't work out, sometimes eating more protein is gonna help you build muscle without even doing anything. Next, again, is gonna be a broad subject, but make sure you know where your dopamine comes from. We all struggle with that. I also. Doom scrolling, corn, constant stimulation, instant gratification. It's not inherently bad, but the more you do it, you notice the less motivation you're gonna have, the less work you want to do to actually have that dopamine. Because on the basic level, dopamine is made to make you work. You finish a project, you work on something, you have the gratification, the dopamine of doing that work, of finishing that project, and then your whole body and your brain understand that if I'm doing more work, I'm gonna get more dopamine. That is what dopamine is for. But now that we can trick our brain and get that instant dopamine rush, what the brain wants is more dopamine. If the way of getting that dopamine is so easy, your brain is gonna automatically push you towards that easy dopamine. It is hard, we all struggle for it, but make sure to be aware of it and at least work on that. Last thing, linking to the other one, is gonna be your looks and your style. The clothes you're wearing and how is your style is gonna affect how people perceive you. Of course, I'm not saying that you should wear a suit every day, every hour. I'm just saying that you should be aware of what you're wearing and then choose accordingly of what you want to be perceived as. The basic rule of that is always gonna be a good fitted shirt, good fitted clothes, fit right on the shoulders depending on your genetics and what you're at physically. Choose accordingly to the situation you want to be in, to the style you want, and the more you know about your looks and style, the more you're gonna have fun with it, because you know you can play around with this and mix with another thing that should not be together, but you know that works in that situation. Last thing, and I'm gonna finish the video with that, work on your attitude. If you're always blaming the world and everything around you for the problem you have, nothing and no one is gonna save you. So just switching the mindset from it is the world against me and I'm the problem. Because if you're the problem, you can change it. It's not about putting yourself down, it's about being objective about your situation. Be aware of yourself, or what you're doing, and ask yourself if you can change it. How can I make this better by changing this about myself? A lot of time we think that the world is against us, but also a lot of time, if you're honest with yourself, you can change a lot of things and you're gonna be surprised about how the things can work in your favor. And of course, doing all the above is gonna probably make your attitude better, but I think working on those at the same time is the best way to go. Thank you guys for watching this video. Again, if you want me to dive a little bit deeper into a specific subject of this video, just tell me in the comments. There's gonna be a lot of videos coming, so make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.